Good morning and welcome to Mo Knows, featuring me, Monica Mo Justice. News you can't use. That's what we're going to talk about today. All right. First things first. Yesterday I forgot my earphones, and today I don't plan on doing that. I forgot my Beats. They need to be charged. And then secondly, okay, I'm on upside down and everything. Okay, good. Okay, good. Good. They're playing drums. Hey, Miss G. No, I just got here. No. I just got here. I'm so annoyed with that shit. All right. That's what that is. Okay. Okay. There we go. Let me see who's in the chat. I want to see something. Hold on. I was trying to. And I will transition into the house. Because I'm the baddest bitch on this shit. I keep telling her. Okay. All right. The baddest bitch on this shit needs a better outside. Hey, I need better reception outside. I wanted to check that because y'all don't correct me on anything. Good morning, Boogie. So the Wi-Fi connection needs more help. It needs more help. So I need to be, I think, closer to the building. Oh fuck, where's that video? I need to be closer to the building in order to pick up where it won't be so grainy. But it's okay. I still came from outside the building, inside the building. Let me see 1 second. Yeah. Anywho, all on one live stream. That right there is a Mo challenge. Let me see you do that. All right, moving on. Guess what I stumbled upon this morning? For all of you folks that been starving for a couple of weeks, can't get your chicken sandwich on, Popeyes has made an announcement. The Popeyes chicken sandwich is back. Let's see. Did I say good morning, Miss G? Good morning, Boogie. Good morning, Miss G. That's how quick a brain don't work around here. Anyway, I was thinking of other people to say good morning to, but that's okay. They could feel it in their heart that I was thinking about them. Okay. Shout out to Miss Alethea. there's never a dull moment in her life, but her heart is always in the right place. And I don't care what befalls her. She really is a loving person. And even no matter what the situation is, she just wants to give love. And I thought it was thank you. That's what Friends Before tribute. And even her kind words at the end were very encouraging to me. So thank you very much. I'm not gonna get mushy in the morning because you made me mushy in the evening. Um, it's just hard. That's exactly what it is. It's just hard. But don't count me out because I'm up and running. I'm like the Energizer Bunny. Okay, the Popeyes chicken, the Popeyes chicken sandwich was, while it existed, arguably the most popular chicken sandwich on the planet. Jezebel, senior writer, Kelly somebody, waited in line for 10 minutes. That's all she waited, 10 minutes, to get one before finding out it was sold out. On the other side of the country, my own mother experienced a similar letdown after hearing lure of the sandwich on talk radio and seeking one out. Now, I got to try it. So my only thing is, if you like Popeye's chicken without any bones, that's exactly what the sandwich was like. You understand? And I know people were criticizing it, and they was like, as soon as a couple of weeks go by, the bread will be as hard as a goddamn biscuit, and that's it. So to me, if you was looking for a piece of breast without any bones up in a sandwich, that would be it. Not as it was juicy, and it wasn't dried up like the it wasn't dried up like the chicken tenders or whatever fuck they call those things. Cause I'll be finding them shits to be like it's like eating a fucking carrot when you're eating those, in my humblest opinion. But who am I? Now, after several months of absence, Popeyes is bringing the sandwich back in early November. So you still ain't getting it tomorrow or today. In order to prepare for what will surely be another enormous response, they brought in reinforcements, hiring an additional 400 employees dispersed among the chain's 150 locations to battle the crowds. I'm gonna leave my ethnic profiling to myself. I picture Popeyes around the country girding themselves like franchise Winterfells, bracing for the armies of the dead that will pour from their SUVs and high-rise office buildings. The first time they weren't ready, said the executive officer Gilmo, somebody, Guanamo, whatever the fuck his name is. I don't know. I didn't say I was into names. People can't pronounce my name. So, Monica, well, Justice. Who, go figure. During its 3-week run, the sandwich sent Popeyes into a tailspin. Employees couldn't keep up with the demand, and morale tanked. This time, things are expected to be different. Up to 2 employees per store will be tasked with the specific sacred task of assembling the sandwich, and with the hope that no customer will be forced to walk away without anything less than filled with chicken. Our franchisees have worked to increase staffing, restaurant brand said in a statement. We have been working diligently to bring the sandwich back to our restaurants soon, as we know our customers are anxiously anticipating its return. Me think y'all making too much out of your damn sandwich. You should just bring the sandwich back. If mofos go to you in the first place, they will go and look at your sandwich and see it's on the menu. We have been, and an exact date for the sandwich reappearance has not yet been set. The restaurant, so y'all are so eager. Y'all don't know when y'all putting this shit out. You just want greedy motherfuckers right now to be like, oh, that's it. For now, it's time to wait. Okay. We will let you know, and that's it. Good morning, Carenza Harris. Good morning, Miss Harris. Isn't it like when you're at the very end of this shit that now everything starts getting stuck inside you and you're like just stuck? Hold on a minute. Here we go. I'm about to tell y'all something. News you can't use. Ricola. Okay. Second thing, where's the third murderer in the Joshua Brown case? Where's the third murderer in the Joshua Brown case? I'm gonna ask again. Where is the third? Now he is supposed to be the alleged cousin of the two people that they got in custody. So where is the alleged murderer? I'm just checking. Good morning, Alethea. This morning I went online and I was in my bank account. I'm looking for something that I disputed because I was just about to buy something. And every time I go to buy something, I was actually going to buy the refills for my pen. And I remember that I bought some refills from a company from somebody here on the YouTube that has a channel. I bought some refills for her and the special whiteout that I wanted from her because they don't sell it here in the U.S. I know, slap me a zillion times. I want some whiteout that doesn't come from the U.S. You know, that comes from Tokyo or something. Anybody going to Japan? Because my friend, I was talking to him last night. Brown. Good morning, Mr. Brown. Is going to Japan, and I got my pen list out for him. Everything I want him to get. He's like, I can't believe you. I said, yes, I have a shopping list. When you go to either Tokyo, Japan, any one of those places, I got my shopping list of stuff for you to bring back for me. But I love this. I love this pen. Ay, Dios mío, carajo. But oh, actually, I'll fill it because T still orders from the company, but they never sent me my shit, and I disputed it on the thing, and I keep forgetting to follow up on that. So I was trying to look for it, and then I opened a savings account while I was in the thing because it said you can open one from your phone. So I was like, is it that simple? Hell yeah, you could open a savings account from your phone. And that's that. Boom, 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 boom. I don't know if y'all can see this good on this pen. Let me see if it settles. You see the little things? Those are little hearts. And then there's some wings over there on that one. Loving it, loving it. You know, this reminds me of the back in the days pen when we was in school and we had the multicolored pen. I think all my colors are all the same though. But there's nothing like a pen. I think I only got blue. I only write with, in this type of pen, 0.05, right, is my favorite. In this type of pen, is 0.05 is my favorite point. And I got the black, the blue black. There is this what is this color T? Is it like, I think it's cherry pink. That's my red. I love it. But you gotta you really gotta line this shit up correctly for it to go inside here, right? I'm probably making a big mess. All right. There it is. It's in here correctly. All right. And what's the other color I get? I get blue, black, black. So this is probably another blue, black. I like blue, black, though. I like to write in the blue, black. But there's not that many things that have the blue, black. I like writing, honestly, I like writing my notes in blue ink. I don't know what it is about writing notes in blue ink. And then I like to come back in black ink with any comments and stuff between it. But I like to write my notes in blue ink. And my favorite pen for writing notes is this one. Oh my God, I love this pen. Anyway, the Papermate pen. The reason why I'm asking what happened to Joshua is the second dude, the third dude in the Joshua arrest is because we still have the other Joshua Brown. Giving background again. Joshua Brown is the witness who testified in the Dragon Ball Z t-shirt at the during the Amber Geiger murder trial. As you may know, he was murdered a few days after she was sentenced. And 3 men were supposed to be involved in this, in his murder, and 2 were arrested, and 1 remains at large. And those of you may recall, in November 2018, Joshua was shot at a club, leaving the club after having an altercation or a fight with someone. And when he was leaving the club, he and a friend were shot at. His friend was fatally shot, and Joshua was shot in the toe. And one suspect was arrested. One suspect was arrested, but there was 2 suspects and 1 was at large. And I keep asking the question, is the missing guy from the first case the same missing guy from the second case? I just keep asking the questions. Now, I'm starting to see buzz around some stuff that I've already said on here. So I'm glad that buzz is picking up. Maybe I just be ahead of things before everyone. I brought you 2 instances where I shared the affidavit, the arrest warrant affidavit for shifting cases. I'm starting to believe that Joshua. I'm starting to believe that Joshua. I was not. I didn't want to make the connection, but having spoke to an attorney yesterday, and them pointing out to me all the different reasons why. When I was putting together my thoughts on what could she possibly appeal for, it sounds like he could be a key witness after all. Good morning, Crystal. That he could be a key witness after all. And the fact that Roland Martin interviewed the judge after, after the hugging incident or whatever. And his interview included nothing about Joshua Brown. Not even a question to like ask what, if anything, the impact. There was no questions. It's just a weird. Good morning, San Francis. It's just, the whole thing is just weird, just absolutely weird. Let me see what lengthy paragraph. And that's it. Now, yesterday, I didn't watch that. We'll watch. Yes, please look at. Oh no, Miss Harris, you need to watch the judge's interview with Roland. Go to his interview though with Rollin Morning and listen to her explain. She doesn't explain the case, but she speaks in general about some things. But you could take it from the other things that she speaks in general about. I really can't see them leaving her on as the judge in this case if an appeal comes on, if an appeal does emerge. So I should do like we do in the office. If and when an appeal emerges, I can't see them keeping her on the case. But that's about it. I didn't share with you all the thoughts of that, what the attorney said to me, only because they're not my thoughts. And when I come to you with my position, I like to present my position. I don't like to have somebody else's tongue in my mouth. But I had, you need 10 more minutes? How much longer? All right, 10 minutes. All right, so what was I going to say? The affidavit, right? I pointed out from day one that the affidavit said open structure. Why is it now becoming such a big conversation piece? I don't understand. And as soon as on Friday, or Thursday evening, when I got the audio of the non-emergency call from the neighbor, I made it my business to come back and connect what he said and how they wrote out this affidavit, and coming back and looking at this affidavit again. So I'm going to do it one more time on this affidavit, because I think this affidavit is critical to tell you that the police are still working in concert with their man. This is a stand by my man moment. And if I didn't make it clear enough then, I'm going to make it abundantly clear now. That's exactly what this is. This is a stand by my man moment. Now, I don't know. Oh, I might have to go into the video I made in order to show y'all. I'm going to have to go to my YouTube video because I just remembered this screen sharing thing doesn't allow me to share screens that are not part of Chrome. That's what I've discovered. Stand by your man. Woo-hoo. Let me look at home. It's only because I want you to see the words of the I have to speak to other people that do this shit for a living. Because I need to be able to re-show these things. Which day is that? Saturday update, non-emergency call. All right, it's this one. Oh, I don't got no thumbnails. I gotta make some thumbnails.
I haven't seen anybody moving around. It's not normal for them to have both of the doors open this time of night.
Okay. You know if anyone is inside?
I'm not sure. Both of the cars are there.
Here with me. And they're in the driveway?
I bet the cars in the driveway, yes.
Are they usually home at this time?
They're usually home, but they never had both of the front doors open with the lights on, like I can see straight through the house. When my sister woke me up, she stays across the street, and then I live on the opposite side of my sister.
We'll have an officer come by. They're already being dispatched now, okay?
Okay, appreciate it. I mean, it's just not normal for them to have both the doors open this late for that long.
Gotcha. Okay. Thank you so much.
Okay. So now that we've heard the non-emergency call, what say you? I bet. Okay. I'm gonna go back to the beginning of the call. I'll come back afterwards with my comments.
Fort Police Operator M873. What's the address?
I'm calling about my neighbor.
What's going on there?
Well, the front doors have been open since 10 o'clock. I haven't seen anybody moving around. It's not normal for them to have both of the doors open this time of night.
Okay. You know if anyone is inside?
I'm not sure. Both of the cars are there.
Here with me. And they're in the driveway?
I bet the cars in the driveway, yes.
Are they usually home at this time?
They're usually home, but they never had both of the front doors open with the lights on, like I can see straight through the house. When my sister woke me up, she stays across the street, and then I live on the opposite side of my sister.
We'll have an officer come by. They're already being dispatched now, okay?
Okay, appreciate it. I mean, it's just not normal for them to have both the doors open this late for that long.
Gotcha. Okay. Thank you so much.
Okay. So now that we've heard, what was one of the questions that she asked? Hold on a second.
And they're in the driveway?
I bet the cars in the driveway, yes.
Are they usually home at this time?
They're usually home, but they never had both of the front doors open with the lights on, like I can see straight through the house. When my sister woke me up, she stays across the street, and then I live on the opposite side of my sister.
All right. I'm always perplexed with that because I want to know why he didn't say what that was issued for Aaron Dean. All right. This part I want to play it, but I want to play it without the sound because I just want to freeze the I just want to stop it. I want to stop it at the section. So this is an arrest. This is a warrant of arrest for Aaron Dean, who has a birthday in 3 days from today, for murder, where he, the said suspect, is accused by the written affidavit under oath of Detective so-and-so, filed before me. So that's that part of it. On October 14th. My belief is based on the following facts. And one of the big facts is that it says on October 12th at 0223 hours, Officers Aaron Dean and C.A. Darsh were dispatched to they were dispatched to this address on an open structure call. The details for the call said the front doors to the residence were open. Both of the neighbors' vehicles are in the driveway, and the neighbors are usually home but never have the door open. Now, if we want to get technical, he describes that this is neighbors, right? But in here, he doesn't say that it was an open call from a neighbor. But anywho, they clearly say that they went for an open structure call. And this is why on a few days ago, I was emphasizing, is it standard operating procedures did they follow standard operating procedures for an open structure call? That's what's important, because that's what's going to make his actions negligent. And when you are negligent, you can cause somebody's death. The causation of it is death if you're negligent to a degree. If you fail to adhere to your training as an officer and you don't maintain the protocols that are in place, it could result in your death or the death of civilians. And at this point, it became the death of civilians and death of suspects. But at this point, it caused the death of a civilian. If you are negligent, reckless, haphazard in the way that you carry out your duties as an officer. So the question becomes, in an open structure call, forget everything else that you've heard, have they followed the protocol? And tear at what they did and the end result. And don't get caught up in all of the other emotional aspects of the case, because you will be disappointed at the end. We see in the video them hiding around walls and doing all kinds of stuff. That's just crazy. Did they follow protocol? What they make it clear is that he was unannounced the whole time. The officers did not announce their presence. The front door and side interior doors were open and the glass storm doors were closed. Officers looked through each of the storm doors into the residence without seeing anyone in the front room. So that means that both body cams should be showing us the same action, because there's two officers. Why is everyone so focused though on talking about the latter stuff, but not talking about why isn't there discipline for the other officer? Officer Dean, using his flashlight, checked the vehicles in the driveway and then proceeded to the backyard. Officer Dean used his flashlight and opened a gate and entered the backyard. Officer Dean still had not announced his presence. So this is like the only thing that they're willing to get him on, is that he didn't announce his presence. Officer Dean then shined his light into a back window of a dark room and observed someone inside. Officer Dean gave orders to put your hands up, show your hands, without identifying himself as police, and fire his handgun one time through the window. The body camera video does not clearly see through the window due to the reflection from Officer Dean's flashlight. Interesting how he worded this. He could have said it was, since he reviewed the video, he could have said he was unable, but he gives a clear thing that you can't see. Tatiana Jefferson was shot, yelled out in pain, and fell to the ground. Notice it don't tell us she fell backwards. There's no specifics. She just fell to the ground. But they said she yelled out in pain. No, she yelled out because she was fucking shot. The officers then entered the residence to render medical aid. So this is at the point where they had to call for backup in terms of EMS. But how did they capture through the window the other versions of stuff that people reported was a gun from the inside? All right, they blacked out his name, Jefferson's 8-year-old nephew, and then they provide you a statement that they obtained allegedly from a special person, forensic interviewer from the Alliance for Children. And I still say, how did they do this without consent of a family? And I listened to the other interview from the sister of a Tatiana. She's the sister of a Tatiana, but she's also the mother of this 8-year-old. And I can't believe that people let her sit up there and tell the rest of the world that her 8-year-old is comforting her as if he is the man in the house. So it just left me with all kinds of questions, and I'm gonna say it now. So I just want to have spoken it. Like, why wasn't you with your kid? Why your sister was taking care of your kid in the first place, lady? Please and thank you. My job as a parent is to always protect my child. There's no way I would be telling you anything about him at this time at any press conference or otherwise, because my primary concern would be keeping my 8-year-old out of this. And in the warrant, they give his account of what he saw in the inside, which I'm still baffled to see why that is important if all we were going on was enough information to arrest somebody based on what he did. This seems to provide some kind of justification for what he did in the arrest warrant from the onset, like wanting to capture this statement officially somewhere so that they cannot back out of it. But on Saturday, they now interviewed the second officer, and the officer said, which is Officer Dar, said that she and Officer Dean were dispatched to the address. Officer Dar said that she went into the backyard, was standing between her, that Officer Dean was standing between her and the house, and she could only see Jefferson's face through the window when Officer Dean discharged his weapon. So again, I clearly tell you that she's going to be see no evil, speak no evil. She only saw a face. She didn't see no hands. But he didn't give no time for anybody to see a fucking hand, because if someone raised their hands like they were being demanded of or commanded to do, I would think the hands would come over the face, and you would see more than just the face if she ever raised her hands up in the first place. So you who was looking at the face should have been able to see a hand coming over the face. I'm just saying. Officer Dean declined to provide an interview on the date of the shooting. Therefore, we should not have a statement that says he was in fear, that he perceived a threat. So that's a bunch of bullshit right there, because we have a statement that he perceived the threat. So anybody that spoke to him and he said that he perceived the threat has a statement from him. So he may have declined to be interviewed, but he did make a statement. Officer Dean's legal counsel said he would provide a written statement at a later date. A oral coming out your mouth, utterance is a statement. Then they go on to say that he resigned from the police department, yada, yada, yada. But those are the things at large. They do stick together. I was driving behind a car yesterday and it said Blue Lives Matter. And I was like, they really do. They really do. I'm going back in y'all comments and then I'm out of here. It doesn't sound like wellness. I don't know. No, I'm not going to say it doesn't sound like wellness. The caller's intent may have been a wellness call. The persons that interpret the information perceived it as an open structure call. If that is really the chain of events. Good morning, Mr. Williams. If that's really the change of events. But to now be making a big deal about the 8-year-old being questioned and so on and so forth, y'all have an opportunist there in being an attorney who is helping the family. He should be preserving the family's best interest at heart. I don't know how complicated it is to deal in these kind of stories when you want to flesh out the truth. And you want to have the truth standing before the officer's statements. So I don't know how difficult it is to balance those two. Having been in a situation myself, if you were butting into my business, you would see there was no statements from the community. None whatsoever. And it took respect of me to make that happen. And you've got to be able to manage these conversations that go into the public space. And I don't see a very good job of managing what's coming out of. I don't see enough protection of the family's best interest at heart as much as it is to just prove a point that there is police brutality. But I guess it's hard to balance that because you have to be vigilant and you have to speak out. So I understand the nuances involved here. But as an attorney, you're always protecting the interests of your client, unless your client just runs amok on you and goes and do their own thing. So you're stuck then just defending their actions. And when you have a press conference and you're present, it's weird. But having recently been involved in something where I can only really control what I do and not control the other person, I understand the difficulties when somebody wants to express themselves and wants to let out what their pain is and what their hurt is. I understand that, but it's got to be a better way. It seems as if the objective was surprise. They didn't 100% follow protocol. I don't believe they follow protocol at all, because I don't know why you just didn't fucking ring the bell. Like, I don't know, but maybe somebody knows something else that we don't know. Which is why the question is this standard operating procedures what these officers did based on the information they had at the time, not Monday night quarterbacking them, but based on the information they were provided, did they follow protocol? That is where the beginnings of dissecting this begins. And it may be hard for people to digest some of this because they don't want to hear the answers that don't lead to the lynching of an officer. You guys, I just want to wake people up to say this. You're not going to lynch them. And if you ever get a chance to lynch an officer, he's going to look like you. He is going to be of your complexion, your demeanor. He's going to be a man of color or a woman of color. Those are the only ones you're going to get to lynch. Or it's going to be some ethnic group. Because here in New York, when we had the Asian officer that shot and killed somebody in the stairwell of the housing development in the project, he was walking in the staircase and the resident was coming down the stairs in the building he lives in. Just instead of using the elevator, he used the stairs, and the police officer was coming up, and the police officer perceived the threat and shot his ass. And they prosecuted the police officer. Excessive force. It was horrible, but it happened. I got to find out what happened in that. What was the final finding? Because I know there was a sentencing. There was a lot of stuff that was associated with it. We are in trouble in and out of our homes. Yes, we are. That's basically what these last set of murders by officers. What we're learning is that we're not safe in our own homes, and that is a problem. That is more problematic that people are being killed inside of their homes, and they can't even tell us now that that's a low number, because we know that when people call and dispatch police officers to even deal with the mentally ill, which is majority of the cases that you have some kind of deadly interaction or some kind of excessive force with the police officers. When the family calls in people to, when they call in the police to help them manage a mentally ill person to get services or to get them to go to the hospital. Those are when we see the engagement. So it's not that we haven't seen murders in the home. We just haven't seen murders by people that were unexpecting this to happen. Someone sitting in their house watching a game, chilling, probably playing a game on TV, chilling, eating ice cream, murdered. Someone playing video games with playing video games inside their house, murdered. We're not accustomed to seeing those type of heinous acts, but now we know they exist. The materials is out there. Don't get caught up in just don't get caught up. Just don't get caught up. What do you mean by civil rights era? I have to go, but I see you say civil rights era. I gotta read the book that you read so I can get into, because I haven't even picked it up yet, because I haven't even gotten into that mindset that you're in, and I need to, Carenza, I need to be in your mindset. And I know that it's going to be a powerful book, and it's going to put me in that mindset, and I need to be in that mindset. Good morning, Diane. And there's nothing interesting about Rollin Morning besides the interview with the judge. I'm not really a fan of Rollin Morning. No, I got a snippet of it, and I was like, damn, I really need to get my hands on the book. And that's it. I'll probably come back because I won't be back. I don't think I'll be back tonight, but if I am back tonight, somebody told me some stuff on I had an argument with someone about I had an argument with someone about basically the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendment. I think it's the 15th Amendment. The 13th Amendment, the 14th Amendment, the one that abolished slavery, and the ones that made black folk. All right, so the 13th Amendment abolished slavery. The 14th Amendment made black people, former descendants of slaves, citizens, and citizens in the United States. And then the 15th Amendment gave them the right to vote, as I understand it. But I could be wrong. But it opened a debate on another level of somebody else, and I just had to like hang up the phone. I literally hung up the phone. I didn't even want to talk about it. Anyway, and there's one last thing on my mind, because I think people still do watch me. If you ask me a question and I'm frustrated answering your question, don't ask me the question. That's the bottom line. It's sometimes like people ask me questions about things and I'm just like, this is like a no-brainer. And if I'm asking you why you're asking me, it's because I want to put my answer in the proper perspective, because I don't want you misquoting me. And some people have a habit of saying, well, Monica said, and Monica this. Oh, hell no. You're not going to put me in the middle of people that create hypotheticals. And I know a lot of folks out here that do a lot of hypothetical talking. And you're not going to put me in your hypothetical talking, because I come from things really from a factual perspective. So I'm not going to let you wear that crown on me. Anyway, this is Mo. I got to go. I got to go. But no, I really have to leave. I'll see you guys later. It is always bad intentions. No, it's their good intentions, but I don't want to be misquoted. And I already know which ways they lean in their conversation. So I just be wanting to make sure that my position is firm.